hearings. Well, you can clearly tell that Barack Muluka is one of the people who are benefiting from this union, hence the reason why he speaks such. Kisiangani cancels standard group deal over critical coverage. The government, through Broadcasting Principal Secretary Edward Kisiangani, has cancelled Standard Group's media contract with the Ministry of Irrigation due to its crucial coverage. SG Standard Group had been selected alongside Nation Media, The Star, Cape Media, and government broadcaster KBC to run a campaign for the launch of the National Irrigation Sector Investment Plan. IVF to give rare white rhino last shot at survival. This is good. This is where technology is used to at least ensure the survival of species. And these species have gotten to the precipice because man and greed have partnered, and hence the reason why you're seeing what you're seeing. Then we got HELB funds delay leaves many in despair despite Ruto's promise. Okay, Mombasa tea traders call for state action as Sudan closes its borders. Now these are some of the consequences of either direct or perceived interferences with other entities. Because now what we have here is Sudan is one of the biggest consumer of Kenyan tea. I believe we were exporting to Sudan, billions of shillings in terms of coffee. But now what has happened is that with the border being closed to Kenyan products, and they're being closed because Sudan says that our government is interfering with its internal affairs. You remember there's a rebel group in the country that was launched, basically launched a parallel government in Kenya at our facilities at the KICC. And so Sudan says we are interfering. Now we've lost a deal for tea in Sudan. And then finally, Mwangaza, her chances of ever getting back the governorship were dealt a death blow after the High Court the other day basically lifted the ban it had put on her succession. And a new governor, the deputy governor, Mutuma, was sworn in yesterday. And so, I mean, he came in and the first thing he did was to reverse some of the policies that have been put in place by the former governor. Let's see how it's going to be for the sake of the people of Meru. Harambee Stars begin journey to uncharted waters. Njiri, it's time for the walk and not the talk. You can read the story and what McCarthy, our new coach, is saying. Then, the Star newspaper, how ruthless city criminals rain terror in the slums. And there's a list of the slums where these groups are raining terror. You got Kariobangi, Korogocho, Kariadudu, Mukuru slums, Kawangware, Kangemi, Huruma, Soweto slums, and Kayole. By the way, we've had some of our friends basically experiencing the horror of some of these guys. And mostly so as you head towards the Kariobangi roundabout, there's normally a bridge right there. There's some guys who hide themselves there, and when you're passing, they basically storm on you and they pull a number on you. Then we got the third page of the Star, a man saved from death by shoddy police work. Okay. Then how ruthless city gangsters strike fear in the slums. Now, these gangsters are the same guys who have been taking advantage of, large crowds during You remember when President Ruto was doing a 3-day tour of the city. And because they know that where the president is, there's normally a huge group of people who've come to listen to him. So they take advantage as the president is going, they move in and using motorbikes and all that kind of stuff. And they're armed with knives and some of them machetes. And I would not be surprised if some of them actually have guns. So what they do is they take advantage of that and they rob people. So they're doing that in broad daylight. And then in the Star, you still have how digital markets are fueling multi-billion illicit trade in Kenya. And then remember, today is a Tuesday, so you have MyGov. Remember, MyGov is how the government advertises all its tenders. So if you're into tenders, you find it in there. Decision time. Chebet targets 800 meters switch next year after dominating the 1-lap race. Then the Nation. When parents are worried about CBC, confusion surrounding transition from junior to secondary school and the myriad challenges bedeviling the new education system have pushed some parents to move their children to expensive institutions offering international curricula. And then Ruto abandons Uhuru's 22 billion KDF projects. And then LSK accuses police of excessive force in dealing with peaceful protesters. States bid to save Bungei in Rex Masai's killing flops. Then you have how a married man's date with a woman ended in death in cell. Where? Weird stuff, eh? Okay, this headline is just weird. A married man in a date with a woman ends up in police cell and dies. Number one, he's married. What is he doing in the date with another woman? And then how police said that he attempted suicide and died in hospital while receiving treatment. But he's a married man and there's a girlfriend in place. Oh, Vicky, aye. We say we are 80% Christian. Makalatas. Why parents are taking their children out of CBC system? If you ask me, I believe CBC is one of the best systems. If implemented right, it could just revolutionize so many things. I believe we need to give it time. It may have teething problem. I believe we need to give it time and see how deep this rabbit hole goes. Because if you look at some of the developed economies, and I'm talking about an economy like China, China has a system like this. When your children in your primary schools are busy playing kalongolongo and singing funny songs that will never help them in life, the Chinese children are being taught some of the things that our people are taught in the technical institutions. So by the time these kids get to an age where they're now again supposed to go to college and stuff, I mean, they're way ahead. When our children are being rewarded, you see, TikTok is from China, and the way the algorithm has been set on TikTok is that if you're in China, the reward system is different. You're rewarded for coming up with innovations and that kind of stuff. The rest of the world is rewarded for shaking their boom boom, which is very unfortunate, because you're turning children into crazy things that think these are the valuable things, while the Chinese are rewarding their children for doing innovative stuff. So we need to get our education system right. Page 5, why mathematics won't be compulsory in senior schools. Omtata slums Ruto Raila packed as a civilian coup. You know, I've asked myself that question so many times. Why do we have Raila vying in the elections, and then if he does not win, the next government has to enter into a handshake with him? Why don't we just scrap the whole thing and we have a handshake from the very beginning? It's a waste of taxpayers' money to go for an election and the loser still ends up in government. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, those are my... What awaits Governor Mutuma in cleaning up Meru County's image? Kura Kera on the spot over opaque county roads projects, and then the back page of the Nation, Uhuru's 22 billion KDF projects stall over funding. What are these projects? Wait, nunua gazeti. It's 60 shillings. Nunua gazeti usome. Nisikupatie stories zote, ndio. All right. We go for a short break. When we come back, I'll tell you what and why Mutuma has actually an easy way in Meru, because he's going to enjoy the support of the MCAs there. He will have learned the way to treat the MCAs right. Okay, let's take that short break. When we come back, we'll look at some of the stories that made headlines. There you are, we're back. And I'm going to tell you a story about a woman governor in Meru County who her stint as the governor was nothing short of a horror movie. I mean, she has been troubled left, right, and center, impeached a couple of times, and unfortunately the last time the High Court dealt her a blow, and now she can kiss that seat goodbye, because Isaac Mutuma, the deputy governor to Kawira Mwangaza, was sworn in as the new governor of Meru County on Monday, following the impeachment of the former governor, the lady I've told you about, Kawira Mwangaza. The ceremony took place at Mwendantu grounds in Meru, marking a significant change in leadership. The swearing in comes after Mwangaza's impeachment was upheld by the Senate, a ruling that was temporarily suspended but later affirmed by the High Court. Justice Bahati Mwamuye, in a ruling delivered on the 14th of March, dismissed Mwangaza's plea to invalidate her removal, stating the petition challenging her ouster did not meet the legal threshold to overturn the Senate's decision. The judge confirmed that Mwangaza was given a fair hearing during the proceedings.
Hapana, hapana. Kiongozi ari hapa bwana.
Mutuma to India. Do swear that I shall always truly and diligently serve the people and the Republic of Kenya in the office of the Governor of Meru County, and I shall diligently discharge my duties and perform my functions in the said office, and that I would do justice to all in accordance with the Constitution and the laws of Kenya, without fear, favor, affection, ill will. So help me God.
So that man right there you saw being sworn in is Mutuma, who's now the new governor of Meru. Well, let's see how this is going to go, right? Now, the government has reached an agreement with the Kenya University Staff Union, or KUSU, and the University Academic Staff Union, WASU, to bring an end to the month-long strike that has disrupted learning at the Technical University of Kenya, TUK. The Memorandum of Understanding was signed, paving the way for the resumption of classes at the university. Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba made the announcement at Jogoo House in Nairobi, stating that a return-to-work formula had been agreed upon by all parties involved. WASU Secretary General Constant Wesonga expressed his gratitude for the government's initiative to help resolve the impasse.
It is a return-to-work formula that has been worked out, that is going to be signed, and after that, the university will proceed to open so that the students can come back in. And I trust and believe that the council and the administration will work extra hard to ensure that the time that has been lost is recovered for the students. We want to have a sector where all our students are in school and all our teachers are in class, all our workers are well taken care of, their welfare is taken care of, because without us working together, we do not have an institution or institutions of higher learning.
Strike is over. We have come up with a plan that we strongly believe is going to salvage Technical University of Kenya. I want to thank the CS for having come up with a bailout plan for Technical University. I want to impress upon academic staff that now work with the management and ensure that students recover the lost time. More importantly, let us work, because now we have a deal. We could not get everything, but we have a first plan that is going to solve this problem once and for all.
We've had the opportunity previously to deal with the issues that were facing Moi University, and we were able to bring them under control, and we are doing the same for TUK University, as we will continue dealing with all the other universities so that we can find lasting solutions to the challenges that this sector is facing. Just like we are dealing with the rest of the issues that the country is facing. We had challenges, I know, of capitation for secondary schools and junior schools, which we sorted out, and the final amount for first term was paid last Friday. The 14 billion that was outstanding was released on Friday. So we are continuing to deal with the problems that are facing this sector every day, and we are resolving them one by one. And it's our belief that we will find an area or a sector that is hygienic, that is predictable, where people know where they stand.
Well, at least that's done and dealt with. These are some of the good news that I love reporting, when this kind of things are concluded and concluded well. Now, President William Ruto has lauded the African Development Bank for its critical role in Kenya's development over the past 60 years. The president made the remarks during a ceremony at State House, Nairobi, where he awarded the African Development Bank President Akiwumi Adesina with the prestigious Chief of the Order of the Golden Heart Award, Kenya's highest honor. In his address, President Ruto expressed gratitude for Dr. Adesina's leadership and the African Development Bank's unwavering support in key sectors of Kenya's growth, including infrastructure, agriculture, water, and energy. The award was given in recognition of Adesina's significant contribution, both personally and through the bank, to the development of the country.
Congratulations. This morning, I am very proud to be the president that confers on you this well-deserved honor of the people of Kenya. It's an honor that I have the privilege as president, but on behalf of the government and people of Kenya, to award you for the distinguished service, the commitment you have demonstrated, and the passion you have worked with to see to it that in every way, even before you became the president of the African Development Bank, you demonstrated your commitment and your passion for our country. My brother, Adesina, I want to say thank you very much.
Your Excellency, President Ruto, I am most grateful to you, sir, for your conferring on me today the prestigious honor of the Chief of the Order of Golden Heart, CGH, Kenya's highest and most distinguished honor. I am greatly humbled by your incredible kindness. What a great honor. What a rare privilege. What a historic recognition. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. President. It is such a joy to be back here with my dear wife and your sister, Grace, in Kenya, a nation that I love, and to be in the State House with a president who is my dearest brother and friend. They say home is where your heart will always be. I consider Kenya as my home. After all, I lived and worked here in this beautiful country for about 9 years, starting from my days working with the Rockefeller Foundation and the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, AGRA. I have been back here ever since, so I can claim to have been working in and on Kenya for at least 20 years. The friendship between myself and His Excellency President Ruto goes way back over those 20 years.
The African Development Bank president there. Now, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has pledged to unite all leaders allied to former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua to ensure the removal of President William Ruto from office. Speaking in Nanyuki, Kalonzo accused the current government of mismanaging public funds, contributing to the country's financial crisis, and vowed that they would not stand by while the nation suffers. Kalonzo also raised concerns over the issue of abductions, emphasizing that it is another critical matter that must be addressed under the leadership of a united opposition. He expressed confidence that the collaboration of various political figures would foster national unity, in contrast to the current government's practices of sidelining certain regions.
Wakihangaika kwa sababu ya wizi. Sababu ingine Ruto lazima aende ni wizi. Serikali yake imekuwa na serikali ya wizi mtupu, mpaka duniani anapata sifa kama kiongozi mashuhuri Kenya wa Kenya ndio namba 2 kwa ufisadi dunia nzima. Na sisi ndio tulimweka huko, sio? Lakini sio mimi. Mimi nilikuwa na mwingine, sio? Mimi nilikuwa upande wa Martha Karua. Yule jamaa mwingine ameepa akainga kwa Kazongo. Lakini hiyo sio shida. Hiyo sio shida. Tutawang'oa hawa wote mpaka Kenya ipate uhuru kamili. Na sifa ya Kenya irudi mahali Kibaki na hata juzi Uhuru aliwaachia. Si Uhuru mwenyewe aliwaambia mjichunge. Nyinyi hamkusikiliza Uhuru. Wangama asema nikimuona Uhuru nimsalimie hata yeye. Aliwaambia huyo jamaa na wajua hamkumsikiliza. Lakini hiyo sio hoja. Kilicho na umuhimu zaidi ni kwamba tutahakikisha wafisadi wote ambao wameiba mali ya Kenya wanaenda nyumbani. Mimi vile nilisimama wima wakati ule nikaokoa serikali ya Kibaki. Sasa tunaungana na Rigiji na wenzetu wote tuhakikisha wa jamaa wanaenda nyumbani. Wangapi anasema Rigiji arudi hata asaidie kabisa, tusaidiane sisi pamoja. Kwa hivyo msiwe na uoga. Wakenya wasema hawatauziwa tena.
Another individual who's expected to join Kalonzo Musyoka, Rigathi Gachagua in the opposition is Trans Nzoia County Governor George Natembeya, who's expressed strong disapproval of the Memorandum of Understanding between President William Ruto and ODM party leader Raila Odinga, stating that it poses a threat to Kenya's multi-party democracy. Excuse me. Speaking at Amahoro Sports Ground in Kiminini constituency during the distribution of maize seeds to needy farmers, Natembeya emphasized that the Ruto-Odinga handshake would not address the challenges facing ordinary Kenyans. He also stated that he had taken on the mantle of opposition leader, a role he believes is critical for pushing for change.
Mheshimiwa Rais wetu tunakuheshimu, maana ni rais wetu. We respect you. We respect your office, maana kama tuheshimu ile ofisi hatuna republic tena. Lakini hatukuogopi. We don't fear you. Tunakuambia ukweli, si ndio? Maana mkianza kuogopa rais ama muogope governor, mnataka kuleta udikteta katika taifa la Kenya, si ndio? Mtu anaanza kuamini kwamba yeye ni Mungu, hawezi kuambiwa kitu. Sisi tutakuambia ama namna gani? Na Mheshimiwa Rais, yeye anakula ugali kama mimi, anakunywa maji kama mimi, anapumua hewa kama mimi, analala kwa blanketi kama mimi, alizaliwa na mwanamke kama mimi. Ndugu yangu Raila, baba Raila, kiongozi ya Azimio, wewe umefanya makosa makubwa sana kuingia kwa serikali. Uliingia kwa serikali ya Moi, hakuna mabadiliko yalipatikana. Ukaingia kwa serikali ya Kibaki, hakuna mabadiliko yalifanyika. Ukaingia serikali ya Uhuru, hakuna mabadiliko yalifanyika. Saa hizi umeingia kwa serikali ya Ruto, hatuna imani kwamba kutakuwa na mabadiliko. Hiyo maneno sisi tumekataa.
Changamoto ambayo wananchi katika eneo ya magharibi wanapitia ni mingi sana. Na Rais William Ruto amesema ya kwamba kitambulisho inaenda kuwa bure. Hatukatai, tunashukuru. Lakini watu wakipata kitambulisho, wewe unataka wakupigie kura. Hiyo haitusaidii sisi. Hao wazazi ambao wako hapa wanataka masomo ndio ikuwe bure vile inafaa. Kwa sababu walimu wakuu wanafukuza watoto yao wa mama kila siku hadi waende walete school fees.
Well, from Kalonzo to Natembeya, all those who are basically against the union between Raila Odinga and the President William Ruto. On the other side, there you have this, Dr. Joshua Oron, the Kisumu Central Member of Parliament, who has reiterated that the Orange Democratic Movement's unwavering support for President William Ruto's government following the party's acquisition of a significant leadership position in both the Senate and the National Assembly. Speaking at the Kisumu Central CDF office after distributing 400 driving licenses to his constituents enrolling in various driving schools, Dr. Aaron highlighted that these committee positions were typically reserved for the ruling party. However, he commended President Ruto for extending an olive branch to ODM, allowing its members to occupy key parliamentary roles.
ODM members, since the inception of ODM, we've seen ODM members taking serious chairmanship positions in the assembly, notably the chair for budget, the chair for health, which were a preserve of the running government. Today, as a result of the corporation, we are seeing those positions with us. I want to say that we are in this government to stay. We are here to support William Ruto to deliver for Kenyans what he said he was going to deliver. I want to advise those other people who are saying that Raila should join them. Our party leaders should join them so that they form the government. We've heard that before. We as ODM, we as people of this region, I want to tell them to form their own government. If they want to form with us, we are working with William Samoei Ruto until 2027 and hopefully and beyond.
Well, that's with the politics of the country, and you know, we'll have this politics until 2027, and then after we do an election, immediately after the swearing in of whoever will be the president in 2027, we will start again campaigning for the 2032 elections. That has been the format of this country, which is very, very unfortunate, because I think politics in Kenya is the most destructive and the most expensive habit, because we spend time talking about things we want to do, we should do, and we promise so many things instead of doing them. I remember Magufuli, president, the late Tanzanian president Magufuli, came into play, and before long, I mean shortly, it didn't take him long, his first term was one of the most impressive terms, because he had changed that country so drastically that you compared Kenya, Uganda, and TZ, and you'd be shocked by the development in TZ, to a point that the presidents of the other East African countries were becoming jealous of him. I mean, he was doing work, he was busy doing whatever he needed to do, not just talking. Unfortunately for our country, and it moves from the top seat or mpaka chief, they're always talking about what they are going to do and not doing, so that we can talk about what they did. So I just hope that this politicking is going to come to an end. Can we get some time to work? I think that's important. We get time to work so that, you know, in 2027 we can look back and say, hey, there actually is something that happened. Having said that, a fatal accident occurred at a place called Getei village along the Kiambu-Ruiru road, claiming the life of an elderly woman and leaving 2 others critically injured. The tragic accident took place in the afternoon when a speeding lorry lost control and struck the woman who was walking along the roadside. She died on the spot. Confirming the incident, the area chief, George Ikinya, described the location as a notorious black spot and urged all road users to exercise extreme caution. He further appealed to the Kenya National Highways Authority to expedite the installation of speed bumps and rubber straps in the area to prevent future accidents.
Naitwa John Ikinya, chifu wa eneo hili, na leo masaa ya adhuhuri umetokea ajali ya lori ambayo ilikuwa inatoka upande ya Kiambu ikielekea upande wa Ruiru, ikapoteza mwelekeo na ikagonga mama moja ambaye alikuwa kando ya barabara kikula miwa na akakuwa wa kupoteza maisha yake. Inatoka Kiambu ikielekea upande ya Ruiru. Ikapoteza mwelekeo, ikayumba kwa barabara na ikaenda kando, ikagonga huyo mama.
Kuna kitu nilikuwa naangalia kwa TV. Dakika kidogo mamangu akaniita. Nikienda kutoka nje kuzima TV, nikienda kutoka nikasikia mlio mkubwa sana, sauti kubwa sana. Alafu mamangu akaanza kushout, dadangu, dadangu, akielekea kwa barabara. Mimi nilitoka tu kwa nyumba mbio kuangalia juu pande wa barabara, juu ni kilomita kama mita kama mita 3 pale nyumba zetu ziko. Kiangalia kwa barabara naona gari imepita na gate. Sasa kufika pale nilikutana na mtu wa duka, ananiambia huyu shosho hapa kwa hapo hiyo lori. Shosho ndio ya anti yangu.
Ni ajali ambayo imekuwa mbaya sana, na mimi kama kiongozi wa hawa watu ningeomba kama vile tumekuwa tukiomba mahala hapa, kwa sababu hii barabara ni ya Kenha, wafanye hima sasa, walete zile bumps, kwa sababu si mara ya kwanza, si mara ya pili ambapo accident imefanyika hapa. At a range of 200 meters zimekuwa ajali mingi, na sasa kuna maisha tumepotesha mahala hapa, na tunahisi baya sana kwa sababu si upendo wetu na si upendo kwa mtu yeyote maisha kupotea kwa road accident.
All right. Actually, when I saw the accident that happened yesterday, when I was coming to the office just outside Metropolitan Hospital, I saw, I think it was a boda guy. He was carrying a girl from a primary school that is just close here, on his back. And you could tell he was running because obviously he was running with her in the back. I am not very sure. Maybe they fell, or he's the one who hit her, or one of those two things. And so it's always good to be careful on these roads, whether you're a pedestrian, a driver, whatever it is you are, please exercise caution along the roads. At times I've seen people crossing the roads. It's like they operate from the mindset, dereva ananiona. At times that driver's mind is so far. His eyes are open, but his mind is somewhere else. So he's literally operating on autopilot. He might not see you. So always exercise caution. Always, when you're walking or when you're driving, believe all the other people are mad people. They are crazy guys who are not thinking normal. You are the only normal person on that road or besides that road. And it will help you 1,000,000 times. Because most of the times, you're right. All right, with that, we got to bring down the curtains on the show this morning. Tomorrow, we'll have, our Mindset Wednesday. Today, our guest, Bernard, will not be in. So tomorrow, we'll have our Mindset Wednesday, when we'll look at the mindset and determine how the key, your mindset is in everything you become or you have. Don't forget also at 9, Rev Felix Kavoy will be coming in with Your Faith Today. We have some interesting worship that will be done. Plus, if you have prayers or prayer requests that you got and you need to have them prayed for, just go right ahead and send them. We'll forward them to Rev when he comes. And then at 2 p.m., Manukato, you have DJ Show and Teddy coming in basically to... They'll do a lot of interviews. They'll do a couple of interviews with artists and pastors and some interesting music. If there's a song that was dropped this week, you better be sure it's going to be played on that show. So we got a lot of stuff lined up for you. Sawa. Aya, sawa. Wacha tulete hii curtain chini. Wacha ni translate na Kiswahili. My Kiswahili teacher will be very pleased. Mwalimu wangu wa Kiswahili atafurahi sana nikizungumza vile nazungumza saa hii. Kama vile tunaleta curtain chini kwa hiki kipindi, tunawaambia muwe na asubuhi njema, na kumbuka ati saa 3 tutakuwa na Your Faith Now. Kwa Kiswahili ni nini? Imani yako sasa. Imani yako sasa. Saa 3 tutakuwa na imani yako sasa na Reverend Felix Kavoy. Alafu hapo Reverend Felix, the Reverend ni Kasisi Felix Kavoy. Alafu hapo saa 8 hivi, usisahau kipindi chako unachokipenda cha Manukato. Tutakuwa na DJ. Hakuna Kiswahili ya DJ. Tutakuwa na DJ show na presenter Teddy. Presenter kwa Kiswahili ni nini sasa? Msemaji Teddy. Watafanya interviews na artist. Alan, artist nini kwa Kiswahili? Wasanii. watafanya interviews na wasanii na pastors ambao watakuja, ama na pastors ambao watakuwa katika hicho kipindi. Kwa hivyo ngojea, alafu watakuburudisha, haya, wacha tu kipindi imeisha. Finished. Have a beautiful morning.